Hey guys, welcome back to D20 House, where a bunch of friends get together, roll dice, and slay monsters. Woot woot! It is Friday night, which means tonight we're playing some Requiem, Vast Horizons. Guys, welcome back. I'm super excited to play. I hope all of you are super excited. Tonight we got Chris.
That's me.
Odie. T. Ian. And myself, Tuff, and we're going to have a great time. I hope y'all are ready to have a great time. Ian, any announcements?
Holy Night of Ian. Thanks for resubscribing. It is Friday.
It always feels better on a Friday.
Oh, duck.
Oh.
It's
Also, it's spider streams. Welcome to spiders.
Don't worry, the theme will be consolidated.
No My Hero Monday because White and Adriana are out. Right?
Memorial Day.
Yeah, for
Maybe
Memorial
the theme
Day.
won't be consolidated.
It'll just carry over into the next week.
It will be extended.
It'll be extended.
I'll make our next mission in this one spider theme too.
Spiders tonight. Spiders and Mad King.
I won't be here next week.
Right. Will
Right.
you be in
Vegas.
Okay. That's fine. We'll play without you next week unless someone else cancels. That's
You're going
cool.
crazy.
No, it's a work trip.
Work trip.
You just so crazy in a work
Didn't stop
trip.
you last time.
That wasn't a work trip.
True. That was just a birthday. Yeah. All right. So yeah, no other announcements.
Nope. Nothing else.
Cool.
Don't think.
Before we get started, guys, I want to shout out once again the awesome artist who makes the music that we play during our Friday night live stream. That is State Azure. Thank you so much for letting us use your music. I promised you a shout out, and of course I'll give you the links and such in the description. And you guys can check out State Azure's modular synth music on Spotify, YouTube. Great stuff. I've been a fan for years. Please go check them out. They're awesome. This one we're listening to right now is Aura from their most recent album. It's a 20-minute track. I love modular synth. Cool. Well, if there's no other announcements, no further ado, let's get right back into it. Hey guys, who remembers where we left off?
Spiders.
We were on the ship debating exactly what we're going to do. The explorer lady wants to go out and help the natives and the rest, and we were all having a meeting about it.
I want to knock her the fuck out and just stuff her in one of the bays, take to orbit, and forget about it. She could be mad at me the rest of her life. I'm never gonna see her again. Like, she's cool, but I prefer her alive.
What the fuck?
No, it doesn't want to stay.
It's the enforcers from Spy Kids.
Oh my god.
I want to cry.
It's the eldritch terror hiding in my brain.
Oh no.
It's the tumor hiding in mine.
Oh my god.
That's Oozle.
They're not tumas. Okay. Man, I hate that. No, T.
It's not gonna stay.
Yeah, where we left off, Helena Dubois, the famous adventurer and archaeologist that we volunteered to take to the planet Labyrinth. She's made contact with the locals and some human scientists who are on site, and they're exploring this massive planetary megalith that this primitive alien species of humanoids have been building for, tens of thousands of years. A lot happened, and where we left off, there is an alien warrior running around here somewhere looking for a beast that it intends to hunt and slay, and the beast itself is extremely concerning.
Woo.
We don't know where the alien warrior is, we don't know where the beast is. Huzzah! Okay. So I believe we left off, it was the end of the second day?
Yeah, we were mid-debate.
Yeah.
Where it kind of came down to the stalemate of like, well, I want to go out and get it. It's like, well, what's your plan? Because you can't just run out and shoot it with your handgun. It's like, well, I don't have one. And it's like, cool.
Well,
so
there was-
stay on the ship.
There was talk about setting up a defensive, or about everyone staying in the ship and waiting until it shows itself
Yeah.
nearby, and then
And then
And-
just
going for
swarming it.
basically. Yeah.
And Amrit
Horrible
had
plan.
just run
Which is
out.
not a plan.
Because he had a whack idea to try, and we don't know what that is.
Remember, said he had some kind of whack idea. I don't think he left the ship. I wouldn't have allowed that without explanation.
I thought he was running out to go talk to the other scientists.
He left the ship, but he's just going out to the hab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
200 feet away.
Okay.
So-
All right.
That's Fine.
Put me back.
What's his plan? What does he come back with?
Well, I also have a little bit of thoughts, and the rest have been a little bit quiet, but I might have a solution for at least killing the spider, at least. There's, back in Pandora, there's a trap that I set up and used plenty of times, and no one can make it as long as we have some metal scraps. It's called the Pandoran Razor Noose. It's kind of a giant wire circle in the rest with a little battery-powered motor that cinches tight and can have tons of force and usually decapitates or delimbs anything caught in it. It's a giant ring, and it can be set to any size. We used it back in the colony to take out the unpleasant big ones that come too close to the perimeter. This could be a potential for us. I could manufacture it, I think, here in our bay. And
How do we get it in the circle?
well, that's another thing. This spider, well, didn't it say that it goes after sentient life, correct?
Like psionics.
Like psionic?
Like more than sentient, psionic life. But we're
Well-
not just going to put Azure in the middle of this circle.
Is anyone, well, I know we got some
Well,
psychics.
actually, so from what we picked up, the spider will eat any human, like any sentient intellects it can find.
Oh, but it prefers.
The warrior hunting it hunts psionic beasts. That's what it
okay.
was.
So this
And
thing is
not
Just
psionic
psionic.
humanoids,
Guaranteed
but like monstrous psionic entities.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, and
I'm good snack. I don't want to.
And I don't know really how the whole
I'm a snack,
psionic
but not
thing
that
kind of works and the rest, but if we could find a way to transfer it to a beacon so that the person is not only safe, we don't have to use a live person as a lure, but if we just have someone, I don't know, think really hard, I don't know how that works. Is that possible?
I'm gonna ask as the DM, as the game master now, who is the most intelligent member of the crew?
Not I.
Not I.
Does anyone here have an intelligence of 17 or higher?
No.
No.
I'm
I
level
have a
2.
15.
I don't have good
I have
stats.
15
I'm at
intelligence.
10.
15, but you're psionic. That
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
9?
I good snack.
I have a high wisdom.
I don't want to be a
Same.
good snack.
Holy Nivian, thanks for the 1,000 biddies. It is not all ogre. We're going to be okay.
Current best snack is either you or Tobari. Because Tobari has a 17
Psionics.
intelligence. No, he's not in psionic.
He's not
Oh,
so.
no.
Amrit's psionic,
Amrit.
but he's not
Psionic.
particularly like super intelligent.
No. But
He's a wisdom guy.
I have high intelligence. I is psionic. I don't want to be a good snack. I honestly don't.
We're not. I'm not. What I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm going to send one of you out to be a snack. We're not doing that.
I don't like
That's
this
what I'm
idea.
saying.
Well,
And what do you mean by a beacon? Can you make a fake people?
well, I mean, brainwaves, right? We have on that scanner, we were able to see that alien had brainwaves. Is there a way for us to try and replicate that, and try and lure that spider in?
Nora
I mean,
looks.
if the scanners can detect it, can we replicate a similar signal?
Yeah, Nora looks up from her data pad and just. It's possible in theory, but it would be very. It'd be very difficult for a number of reasons, and I'm just not sure if we would have the right materials to pull that off here. We could try it.
Well, and we need boots on the ground at least then, and I'd propose 2 teams then, if I might. Instead of putting it to a vote, those who want to be ground side, and then a ship team. The ship team should have use of the drone to try and find and seek out this monster and learn more about it, and also making sure that at least half the crew can survive if worst case comes. And the ground team has to set up the traps and weaponry that we have on the ship in order to try and take out this beast.
2 turns towards you and like projects a display from its PDA. It's Amrit entering up the gantry.
Great.
Into the, yeah. He makes his way over to where you guys are in just a minute. And he has this kind of like look in his eyes. Like he. What's going on? Oh, God.
Holy Nivian, Tyler Weiss. Thank you.
Rerolls for the players.
What, 2 each?
1 each.
1 each.
Thank you.
Bless.
Probably need it.
Hacha.
Very kind.
He has this kind of look in his eyes, like he knows he's gonna do something stupid.
What are you doing?
He walks in with a little like jar, basically. It's just like a little glass storage containment unit for like living creatures, and it has one of those little worms in it. But obviously, like it's contained right now. It's just kind of like sedate and hanging out in this buyout containment.
No.
And he's just holding it. Ran back in with you guys. So I had an idea, and I went and talked to Minerva about it. And then I wanted to come see what Captain Aira says, and what Nora or Ashton have to say. I have one of the mind slugs. We could attach it to someone if we still want to consider using intellect as bait. And the good thing is, this can be removed. Like, there are no known permanent. Oh, nice. Who did this?
Holy Knight of Ian again, Tyler Weiss. Thank you for the second reroll to all players.
And you are right to not trust us.
There are no known long-term side effects of exposure to this.
And how do you remove it?
But why do we want it to come to us?
Well, because the first thing actually I just thought of it just now, we should probably warn the natives as soon as we can that there's a demon on their world. And
They've
they
been
need
warned.
to flee.
They've been warned.
They've been
Yeah,
warned? Okay.
the village is on lockdown right now.
Well,
The hab is secure as well.
first we need to figure out where people are dying too. We need to be in good communications with the locals and figure out where people are going missing. That would be our first bet, to figure out where it's close to, and we can set up its trap.
Have any means of communication?
God, I just
As long as
can't make myself risk
how
all
do
of
they
our lives for
communicate?
this. I
Maybe
just
we
don't
need to talk
care.
about talk to the scientists
Send
and
a-
figure out they
a
talk
drone?
to each other. Can they
Maybe?
talk to over distance? I don't know how that whole
Oh,
worm thing works.
in the hive.
From what I understand, it's over a relatively short distance. Couple hundred meters at most.
A
So
couple hundred meters, then should be just fine from the hab to the first couple people at least. So if they start getting messed up, they can call for help, and we can then decide from there if we want to help.
well, someone would have to wear this thing for you to communicate.
No, because the hub can just call me on the phone.
True.
Nobody needs to brain slug,
Okay. You just have that as an option, though.
and I hate it.
Yeah.
As much as I love that idea, I think it would be better to brainstorm more things at the moment, but that would be a good one.
No, I just thought I'd bring it. This thing should be fine in here, but if we don't, I'll let it go tomorrow.
Did Nora come up with any information on this mind spider?
Yeah, she pulled up everything that she has. So these things, they do not have a known point of origin. They have no relation to the RNA. They have no record of communication
Cool.
with any sentient species, but it is known they are intelligent. In fact, they're incredibly intelligent. And the more brains that they consume, the more intelligent they become. They're individualists, though, and they're also cannibals.
I guess I'm asking more height, weight,
Big.
jump height.
They can get, they have varied height. They can be like the size of a dog, but they could also be like the size of a small, like tank, basically.
Okay, so we're fighting a small tank.
Yeah.
Do we understand
Always take the max
estimation
sizes.
of how big it is at the current moment?
The one you guys have
Size of
here.
a small tank. Assume the biggest.
Well, we got a pretty
Actually,
good
this
view
might
of
be-
its steps, right?
Of it, yeah, of its leg span on
Yeah.
the ceiling.
So
Do the locals tunnel often?
But Lincoln.
They have a lot of tunnels everywhere?
The whole megalith is full of tunnels. It also goes underground. It didn't seem like huge. It didn't fill the corridors of the tunnel, like a Sherman would, right? It was pretty middling. You'd guess.
42 Wally
Stay away from me.
Well, do we know if it's does it have a skeletal or like
It has a chitinous exoskeleton.
so it can't compress as well?
No, it cannot. It does not squeeze.
Small tunnels. That's our way around
Keep in
this
mind,
thing.
this thing's also not a spider. Like we like to think of it as a
Yeah,
spider because
the
we're humans.
burrows.
It doesn't like have webbing. It probably doesn't have all of the same
Navigation.
like extrasensory
Uh-huh.
abilities. But a couple things it does have, its legs are like razor fucking sharp. So if you get in melee with it,
luck.
your suit could probably take a hit from it, but if your suit's exposed, then you'll die. You know what I'm saying? But you know, our armor should sustain it. Other than that, it has
Less reasons to leave the ship.
it has a moderately acidic spittle that won't burn through any metallic alloys, but it is harmful against
It'll
biotics.
blind you.
Yeah, it'll blind you and cause damage. It won't just like melt you into a puddle. So
Ambush predator.
it is an ambush predator, and it's very smart. Like calculates the arc of projectiles mid-combat smart. It's
Yeah.
good.
So might not even fall for a trap.
No.
Whoever that alien hunter was, though, what little we know about his people, they hunt monsters like this.
They're
That's
specifically
their
trained
entire
for it.
culture.
Holy Night of Ian. Thanks for the 50 biddies. I agree. That's it. That's all you get to know.
What do you say?
Well, if it's an ambush predator, and the rest that means
were talking
unless
about
if it
this
needs
earlier.
food, it won't roam.
It shouldn't roam. No. It might just stay in those tunnels.
So even better, it's probably still in the tunnels, and we just don't have to worry about it at all.
Oh, give me a home where the scary spiders
So it runs out
roam.
of food.
Yeah, if there aren't enough people running around in the
It'll-
tunnels to
Predators, yeah, it'll go out.
There's at least
and
one
roam.
crazy psychopath running around those tunnels, right? They'll take care of each other.
eat.
I just feel like if we leave this one alone, the rest, it's just going to become a bigger problem for these people.
Nah, because Future Boy's got
And here's
it.
the question.
Did you see the size of that sword? Easy.
Well, and I hate to ask this, but can it repopulate?
They can reproduce asexually. However, when they do, they basically donate all of the intellect that they have acquired to all of their young. So
They're fractional.
the parent will become much less dangerous immediately after reproduction, but their broods can range in size from a half dozen to 2 dozen.
Oh, Christ. That's terrifying.
At that point, they don't grow larger with age, they just grow larger with feeding.
I just got a feeling if we live this one lie, this is a predator in an uncharted zone in the rest. Is there any natural defenses or big enough breeders to even try and compete against this thing, especially if it gets smart?
It's an invasive species, and these people don't have means to defend themselves from it on a global scale. There might be, 15 people on this planet that could even attempt to kill this thing, and most of them are in this room.
And one alien if he succeeds or not.
Maybe a good snack.
Like I said, I think this almost should be an individual decision to figure out 2 teams, one on the ship and one on the
Should
ground.
not be an individual decision. No, we should not split up into 2 teams. You're just fractionaling the force and just marching yourself in heroically. You're
Captain
super
Ayres
heroic.
speaks up, and he says, I'm going to have to agree with Security Officer Benelli on this one. If we're going to make a move here, we need to make a move as a team. Splitting ourselves up's a good way to die. I do have some concerns that if we just leave this thing unchecked on this planet and the Time Rider does not manage to kill it, that it could reproduce and decimate this entire planet.
Here's an interesting one. Does it breathe?
Yeah, she looks into it. It is capable of surviving in multiple environments. It's semi-amphibious. It can survive in vacuums for short periods of time.
Short periods.
Short periods.
So,
It's a fucking parasite.
Yeah,
what if we
it's an adaptive predator.
have the locals cut down a whole bunch of reeds and all that fun stuff, and we just pile them high at the entrance to every single tunnel we have access to, set fire, and smoke the shit out of it?
But that system goes across the whole planet.
Yeah, and they all communicate with each other through brain magic. They all got sticks and twigs.
Helena then speaks up.
Like a really cool bonfire.
Right, well, so the problem is,
Hi, Cat.
Shoot, I'd set Australia on fire. It'd be cool.
the tunnels, they go very far underground, and I just don't know if they could set enough fires across the entire planet to try to smoke this thing out. At its general kind of speed, this thing could be anywhere by now. It could be out in the jungle, but it could just as easily have gone into the bowels of the megalith.
So how are we supposed to track it if we even decide to go after it?
First off, we got a drone with advanced sensors that could probably help.
Drone that moves at a rather slow pace.
Still, we at least can narrow down regions. Like, well, if it's an ambush predator, it's not going to move quickly, especially if it can find food. And the locals will probably pick it up first. Hopefully, at least tell us where it's at. They'll be missing people.
Shecky's right, it wouldn't run off. It wouldn't go into the bowels of the big rock or anything like that.
Well, I'm just
We'll
assuming
find a
it's an
stable
ambush
spot to
predator.
feed.
I mean, I've never, hunted this thing before.
Not unless there's people in there that we don't know about.
It's already feeding in there.
Well, and I think the first thing that it might want to do, I don't know if it can differ between sentients, but probably it's going to want to go after the scientists first. We should probably get them on the ship. That's my first concern.
the 5 scientists here. Yeah,
They're in like a metal hut.
And that's
though.
why I
It's
was
no
thinking-
safer than the ship, isn't it?
they're in a relatively fortified habitable access panel, so
It's not.
it doesn't have armor like the ship does, like military grade armor.
Yeah, okay, they can get on the ship.
Yeah. It would last a couple minutes against direct assault.
Yeah, okay, they should get on the ship.
Shall we escort them?
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
I'd assume they don't have their own weapons.
I vote
They're
not
scientists.
me going off the ship.
Yeah.
I want to stay on the ship as much as possible before I.
I'll go.
An excellent call.
Okay. Kosham's volunteered to go escort.
I'm going to.
We could, I mean, we have range extender on right now. We could take
Yeah,
2.
we can take. Yeah, we're absolutely going to take 2.
Okay. You want to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have any other choice.
And you're staying, right?
Oh yeah. I'm not getting off the ship until
Yeah,
I
fuck
know
no.
I can.
Helena will go.
Was there any other kind of specialty information about this thing that we got?
I can look up.
It
Storm.
really hates fire. Would be a great thing to know.
She pulls up.
It can't handle concussive waves to save its life.
She pulls up a documentation of one of the few autopsies that's ever happened on these monsters.
Super sensitive ears.
They are moderately sensitive to sound and to electricity.
I can work with that.
That's good. But their biggest weakness is they have huge sacs on their thorax where the brains they physically actually consume are then like
The
stored.
matter is held.
The matter, yeah, the soup of those brains is like in these little
brain
thorax
soup.
sacs.
Brain
And
dip.
over time, it is then processed and distilled across the creature's nervous system. If you pop those sacs, that will both rob it of the brain matter it's currently feeding off of, and also it'll be really, really fucking painful.
Yeah.
So,
It drains it fast.
yeah.
Cool. Everybody gets some flashbangs from the storehouse.
Oh, Christ.
What you gonna do with all that, John?
Some fragmentations. I got a couple frags laying around. We got a couple of them taser rifles.
You should have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have 2 of those stun
That's-
rifles.
Me and Reva, I guess, right?
Other than the frags you bought, you bought like what?
I'd get a dozen.
Okay, yeah. The ship's not, armed with all that much to start
Yeah.
off with. It's just like
That's what I'm collecting. So
Well-
I'd have like maybe a dozen fragmentations and double that, 2 dozen to 30 flashbangs.
okay.
Just
And then-
because I have the money and it's cheaper to bulk buy.
Yeah, you guys would have 15 handguns, 5 rifles, 2 stun rifles, and the 8 grenades. It comes with, so you have like 20 grenades right now.
Yeah.
Baller.
Well, this
I'm also going to take Shecky's nice handgun out of the box.
might actually sound kind of like a tinfoil hat theory, but what if we put like lead helmets around it? I don't know if we can like block it so it can't sense us, but the less the predator can sense us, the easier we can move around.
I
You've
don't
that
know
much
how-
lead on hand.
I don't know how brain waves work.
I mean, we have to reinforce the nuclear.
Armor looks at
backup.
you. Do you have any means to block out our MES?
I can try my best.
Okay. I know you get into that bionic stuff.
Yeah.
Bionic stuff.
I can work on that real quick.
That's way out of my realm of expertise. Do you have any abilities that allow you to mask your signature?
No, that's I believe later.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know what.
No, it's
psionic
a lot.
powers
It's a
you
lot
have.
of healing and long range and mastering. The first couple things.
Okay.
Later on, it gets.
We
Cool.
can also do some masking of our movements. We got some speakers here from movie night. We can just set those outside and just blast Black Sabbath all day long.
Odie, if you want to attempt to use a psionic power you don't have, I'll let you attempt it. But if you fail,
Ow.
Ow.
Or worse.
The brain
One
hurties.
second. The brain hurties.
You got like, I mean, just about everybody here's got some kind of like Bluetooth speaker, right?
Yeah.
Strap that onto your back, crank up whatever tunes you want just about as loud as you can. You disrupt it, it's gonna find us anyway. We might as well just go loud.
Well, if it's sensitive to noise, who knows?
Might spook it off.
What if I'm sensitive to noise?
Earplugs. Here.
Maybe we should
Seeing
activate
as an
it
ambush
as
predator, you're
soon
not
as
gonna
it's
hear it
near.
coming anyway. You might as well just plug your ears.
Yeah.
I think we activate it as soon as we think it's near. That's when we probably should. Element of surprise.
I don't think we're gonna surprise it. I think we just, when we're moving these scientists, we just go loud. I'm just gonna crank up my tunes on a speaker. I'm just gonna stick it in my backpack, crank the speaker up to 11.
That's Soldier Boy.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna put on just white noise if I got whatever. Just whatever ear-piercing wailing I can find on Spotify at the moment. Not sponsored, unless.
Unless.
All of Kosham's playlists are like nature sounds, and
Just like
You gotta have
like
something
Enya,
like
you
you gotta have
know?
something like the raptor mating song. It's just this horrid aberration on the ears, but you're like, oh, it's so beautiful, and everyone else is like, yeah, that'll work. You have to.
So get the scientists back to the ship, I propose, and then we can figure out our plan from there. Then I can start manufacturing the razor nooses. I still think that's one of our better net bets.
If it's an ambush predator, it's not gonna fall into a trap.
Unless if it's starting Roman and hungry.
I mean, I can try cloak power that's from a different site.
I think we'd be
school.
better off with just some claymores at the entrances.
Makes me invisible. Undetected.
Either or, I just...
We can do both. We'll talk about it. Let's go get those scientists.
Okay. Squad of 5.
Blast the ship speakers.
Everyone who's going, I need a D12.
How...
This is not an 11-12 situation. This is a building towards DC. Good luck.
I never asked you how quick I
Okay.
could make those razor nooses.
I'll be there.
Because you probably made them before.
Relatively quick.
Because I have 6
I
scraps.
can just throw away.
It's a pretty simple sounding device too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, could I at least create one?
Are you making those right now, or?
Well,
or
how
while we
long
were-
would it take?
While we were talking, you probably make one in like a minute.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. Trust me.
Yeah. If you started while we were debating still, then you'd be good.
All right.
You have one.
And I'll use one part of my spare parts.
Yeah. While you're like doing that off to the side, Riva would kind of like crouch next to you, and she just whispers, "Titanium razor wire."
The Pandoran razor noose.
It's not Pandoran. I mean, you might call it that.
Oh, that's where I learned it from. Built it in the field plenty of time.
it's actually Vietnamese.
Yeah. She kind of just like looks at it, and there's like this darkness that is like cast over her face, and she whispers to you, "Insurgents."
Oh, trust me, long ago I would never want to make one of these again. This time I think it might save somebody though.
scary.
Okay. What were our encounter checks?
2.
3, my lord.
3.
Oh, you
Wow.
said
Low.
D12.
D12. So we're 5,
9.
16, 24, and
Wait, you went from 5 to 16 with a 9? That's 14.
sorry, 14. My bad.
Don't cheat us.
22,
I'm staying on the ship.
and
I'm being a good boy.
you
I don't
know,
have that kind of.
roll a 6 for number 2. That's how I usually handle it. Okay. Cool.
With that, I'll set up the noose just with a little bit of slack so I can have like adjusted to any size. You know, just have it in his belt.
I can get metal slide, but I cannot.
You guys head out from the ship's gantry. It's gonna close behind you, but only it's gonna reopen
Absolutely.
like before you get to. You're not gonna wait. and we head off into the quiet of the short jungle.
No
or not really
quiet.
jungle, but like, oh yeah, you're right. It's like an arboreal path.
We're blasting 6 different songs.
I got it. He's playing grub step. It's the sound
Grub
of like worms, like alien worms, the worm sounds, but like mixed, real heavy. Yeah.
Dude, it's the natural evolution of Centipede by Knife Party.
Yeah, he's playing grub step.
I love that. There are so many dumb dubstep-based jokes in our D&D games. It hurts. Dwarf step, grub step. What else is next?
The music of the future.
Honestly, music of God. Yeah, we're all blasting tunes, heading out. Oh boy, we make our way through the kind of, just this little village. They're starting to set up defenses. They have warriors about with like various weapons, including both like spears. They also have like these huge club-like weapons with like they're like the Mayan. They're not Mayan. They're the Aztec Mayhotls.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with like the teeth of
Obsidian
alien
and-
predators
Okay.
as their blades.
Ian, you could give them a gun and
not
change
my
the path of their evolution.
Chris made that joke last
That's
week.
absolutely
Fuck
not
you.
happening.
Made a joke about giving natives guns.
Oh,
I think he was serious.
Just give them guns, don't give them smallpox. Like
I cry.
well, that was the only solution. Either
When
we fight it or
angels
they can try to
deserve
fight it.
All right. Yeah, you guys make your way down to the Hap, which is completely closed off. There are like palisades, like actual wooden stake palisades being set up around the like paths through town, through this little village. And inside, you guys see like all the windows are dark and tinted. The gantry's been fully brought up. It is just this inaccessible metal kind of like rounded box that is 6 feet off of the ground on these stilted legs.
Take me 30 seconds.
I know. As soon as you guys are outside,
This pillar must have taken the architects eons to build. And I turned into a bridge in what, 30 seconds?
12 seconds, tops. Love Vinny. The 5 scientists make their way out, and everyone kind of surrounds them and starts heading back towards the ship. Before we leave, Helena puts her hand on the Hap, just like exterior legs, closes her eyes for a couple seconds, and then we're gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, I
Do you get a
see.
feeling, or
She hooked on a
some
feeling.
kind of.
She hooked on fire.
Yeah, you like talk to her through the comms because there's music blasting outside your helmets. She kind of looks over at you. She can't hear you for shit right now. Even like through the comms, there's just too
Good.
much sound.
Good.
Yeah.
If it annoys her, it's going to keep that thing well the fuck away from us.
Let's hope.
And if not, everybody just pull a pin on their flashbang simultaneously and charge it. Tomahawk, flashbang, and underwear. That's all you need to defend your home.
My God, as the founding fathers intended. My powdered wig and what is it? My powder rifle.
Kentucky rifle, powder.
Kentucky
wig.
rifle, Kentucky rifle. All right, you guys get back to the ship.
Okay.
It is a tense, 5-minute excursion.
How many scientists?
5.
5.
I want to try a power that's not in my skull.
Sure. What is it?
It's called cloak powers.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Exactly.
Amra was asking.
Yeah, I know.
What level is it?
1.
Oh,
okay,
that's
that
not
sounds
hard at all. Roll me a psionic level check 10. Check 10. Hard.
2d6, right?
You can do it. Yeah, and if you ask Amrit or Helena to help you, they can give you a bonus.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Nah, just go for it.
Ask Helena.
I'll ask Elena for it.
Yeah.
She looks smart.
She does not give you a bonus.
Psych.
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
Literally.
You got a 6 native.
Uh-huh.
You got a +4 bonus?
You got a reroll.
I also got to reroll, but I want to see what this is before I actually reroll.
Yeah. Can reroll before or post resolve. That's fine.
I'm gonna reroll.
All right. Reroll spent.
Come on. Be big brain. No.
7.
It's one better.
It's better.
If someone gives Helena a reroll, she'll reroll her
Take it.
aid.
Take it.
Okay.
Reroll spent for Helena.
Oh, Oh, that's better. She gives you +1 bonus.
10.
Baby.
Holy idea, thanks for the 100 biddies. That's exactly the. I love that meme.
Oh, what as the founding fathers? And
With my second shot, massively. The neighbor's dog is killed.
these ruffians.
More ruffians breaking into my house. Tally ho!
Someone calls you a ruffian, you need to get out of their house. Unless you
Rapscallion.
live there.
Did you make 10?
Made 10 exactly with aid from
With the-
another.
With the
Rub
reroll
and
help.
base. I like that.
I put this.
You guys get back.
Take a good snack.
Minerva's just like sitting in the cargo bay, just like between two crates, just like listening with her head like almost between her knees, because there's a lot going on, like psionically right now.
Can anybody track down the Time Rider psionically?
No, that hurts.
Our drones are way too slow.
No,
We tried.
psionically.
No, I
That
don't know
hurts.
nothing about brain magic.
If we went into the megalith, Amrit or Helena could attempt it with their divination.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No, we're not stepping.
You guys all
in
want to
that
die
tunnel
heroically.
again.
I get it, but this is my 3rd mission. All right? Please let me keep my record clean for like
Yeah.
one more time.
You guys have spent like 2 years in space though on 3 missions. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I know. I'm
Two
starting to take a little bit of
collective
pride
years.
in my record, okay?
Uh huh. Hey, we haven't gotten.
I really don't want to throw it away for a species that I just met yesterday.
That's rough, but I understand. Yeah, we get back in the ship. You are gonna sit down with Helena and ask her for her help. I'm not very familiar with the specifics of how it works, but I can try.
I would greatly appreciate it because I also don't know the specifics, but I got the gist of it from other people, but I just need the extra help.
You sit down and you see that like hint of alien ancestry as the blackness floods her eyes and her irises burn like this molten gold. And yeah, after a couple seconds, you feel cold. And the world around you grows a little bit muted as your like senses dull slightly and your vision is just like a little not dimmer, but like everything's just like in slightly darker kind of tones. And your entire perception of reality is warped. And that's the thing, is that you are masking all psionics in a small area around yourself. And that fundamentally changes how you identify with your own brain and your surroundings.
I hate it here.
It's uncomfortable, but as long as you maintain your focus, you'll be able to keep that up.
Okay. This is so weird. It's okay. Keep calm, keep cool. We got this. Thank you.
Cool. So you, as long as you maintain your focus on this, will project an aura. It should be about, like 50 feet. Amrit, Helena, and Minerva can still use their psionic abilities, but no one who's looking for them can detect them.
That's fine.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Okay, we have at least of that. So whatever this creature is, it shouldn't be looking for the brain signatures inside the ship. It shouldn't be attracted to everyone's intelligences here.
Awesome.
I'll be making more razor wire. It shouldn't take me too long. Probably could make about 6 or 5 more units.
Now we wait. Reva can help you. She knows how. Not like as technically as you do, but she's seen it plenty. So
Yeah, do the second check as I'm making.
yeah, okay. The two of you can easily make like 20 of these.
Oh,
like you're
with
good.
extra scrap on
It
board.
just it just depends on how long you spend and how much scrap you can use.
Do you need more help?
No, trust me.
It's a matter of resources now, not hands.
Got it.
How much scrap do you have?
I have 5 in my personal backpack, but
Okay.
also whatever the ship has.
You'd probably have like, depending on how much you think you've used this journey, between 20 to 40 at all times.
Well,
for small things like
I'd
this?
say probably 10 of them. If it's smart enough, once we use the trick, it's not going to work again. I mean, we can try, usually that we could set it up inside tunnels and the rest and ring it, and so that the noose, once the sensor activates, crimps it and cuts it in half. That's the thing, probably underground. It just depends. If it's a large crater, it depends on how well it can burrow. Because if it's a small enough tunnel and the rest, I've done plenty of tunnel fighting and I've crawled through those things. Might be our way to outmaneuver it. I think it's faster.
You've lived quite the life, Shecky.
And I have.
Spend a lot.
We could set up sensors on these so we know when they've activated.
Another thing we can use our scrap for is actually taking out like cameras that we can try and set up in its proximity. Once the natives, once we figure out where the general area is, we can send the drone to start setting up pieces so we can get a good eyes and figure out how fast it is, how big its girth is, what it does, its habits,
I'm
and
cool with
figure out
sending
where it
out
goes.
number 4 for trail cam duty.
Oh, number 4.
Number 4 actually went into the bowels of the megalith last session. I know I didn't tell you about that.
Because
Oh
the one
my
thing about an
God.
ambush
Aiden
predator
is
is when
on
it's
active
expecting
duty.
to hunt, it's going to be alert. But when it's on its regular routine, it depends if we can sneak in and find it in one of its well-trodden paths. And that's how we can catch it. And hopefully, the razor noose is all that it'll take. Especially if it has endoskeleton, depends on if it can heal in its
It's
factors.
exoskeleton.
Yeah, it's exoskeleton. Once that gets crushed, it should decompress. And then it should be vulnerable for a short period of time, if it can even heal from that. I've hunted plenty of critters. I'm just not ones that think like this, if it is smart.
I've never hunted alien life, particularly. This is your area of expertise, Shecky. I have faith in it.
So I'll start working on getting some additional cameras that the drone can start setting up. We just need somebody to always be on talking with the locals to figure out, the locals can figure out where it's at, or where they're losing people. Because
I
that'll
just
be our first
point at the
premise.
scientist lady.
Yeah, Minerva's just listening at all times.
Yeah, Minerva. Once,
Or Helena.
Accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helena, she doesn't have the thing, so she's
Oh,
not
she can't
gonna
speak to
know.
that. Okay.
We have one person, and it's Minerva. That's why Amrit got the other thing.
No grubs needed.
Once we figure out if it's on the inside or the outside zone is where we can start setting up. With the safety of the drone, that is.
Fine.
I don't think it's a type to eat drones, but it might realize it's dangerous at some point.
Helena stops you. Shecky, you might want to set one of these up in the hab if we can get access to the interior again.
Aye, yeah. You could, right?
Sure.
You think it'll be drawn there, even with no one inside?
I think sometime in the next 24 hours that hab's going to be breached.
More like residue
Do you-
sometimes.
You know
Tell
what would
us
be
where.
even better then? Hear me out. How attached are we to this hab if it's going to be breached by some giant mind spider?
She looks at one of the scientists, and Iris just kind of looks up at you. What are we talking about, breaching the hab?
You know. Do you need it?
We have another backup station. You'd have to transport us to it, but
Great,
that'd
that's
be fine.
totally fine. We got some high explosives on the ship. We don't gotta low tech this. We don't gotta underdo this, right? Because what if your razor wire just takes one of its 27 legs or whatever it's got, and then it just goes on a murder spree anyway? I say we take 12 pounds of high explosives, stick it in the floorboards, and when it breaches, we just blow the whole thing to hell.
That could work too.
There is no such thing as too little high explosives when you're going for something like this.
Unless it's not susceptible to damage like that.
Oh,
Oh,
it will be.
at least then we can learn though. So the more that we
It's
learn
worth a
about
try.
it, yeah.
If
I hate to say it, but we can always rebuild.
yeah, if the resources in the hab are expendable, replaceable.
Finally, a plan I like.
Do you know
some-
how soon?
Get some basic sensors ready and
Sometime in the next 24 hours. It's just a feeling.
spare
It's not even guaranteed, but it's likely.
0 time. I immediately go and collect my satchel of explosives.
I'll make a couple of proximity sensors. Well, I may actually even tick off,
We just set up a camera with a
Yeah, a
with a
couple of
plunger.
cameras.
Yeah. Shoot, there's cameras in the hub. We just
connect into that,
Hack
we're,
into them.
we're golden.
Yeah, Iris
We don't
can-
even have to hack into them. We got the scientists with the access
Yeah.
to them right there.
Yeah.
They just log in and we're set.
Yeah, you guys can do that literally right now.
We do it literally right now.
Yeah.
Helena, I'm willing to trust her. Feeling I'm sure you've trusted it before. And
Could
more
I do
than we've
a couple of cameras / motion sensors?
And if it doesn't show up, I
And
just go
basically-
get the explosives
Basically,
back,
big
like,
game
whatever, man.
cameras and the rest, and quickly use some scrap to manufacture a couple.
Sure. Where do you want to put these things?
Probably just like do it like a ring of of around the hab to figure out which area it's coming from, and probably a couple in the hab.
They're cameras, so they can look
They-
out pretty far. So we set a 100-yard
Yeah.
perimeter.
They have external cameras, like built onto their.
Well,
hab,
yeah, but if we
so-
blow the whole hab up, they ain't gonna have no external cameras anymore, are they?
True. True.
They have internals in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
have
the
both.
internals.
Yeah. We're logged into those, so then you're gonna set up your own auxiliary cameras around it as well, like a safe distance away.
Exactly. And then we can use our external cameras on the ship as well.
Well, and
so.
probably actually probably from a good vantage point that he found earlier in the day, so that he actually can get a general gist of the valley. If you could just run up there.
Easy. We also have our flying drone that we can just keep in the air.
That too.
So yeah, we get
As
that
overhead.
set. We make our next mission.
That
out.
thing does have limited battery, but it should last for another day or two, so that's
Oh,
fine.
okay, yeah.
Right now, it's the immediate threat.
Easy.
Okay. So we're setting up razor wire traps around the village, like the outside of the village, right?
Well, I think the
Or-
explosives is the primary in
The
rest.
explosive is 100% the primary.
I'd
If we got a
I'd
premonition,
take a
it's gonna
couple
be
of
there.
razor traps, and actually I'd ask him earlier, like, hey, and the locals and the rest, could I actually have like a map layout? I'd imagine that's what he'd been working on, of the local village. Tell me where the small tunnels are, just in case if
Oh.
we run into trouble, so we can run into them.
So there aren't any tunnels in the village. All the tunnels are into the megalith, like in the
Oh,
face of the
okay.
huge rock
So it's nowhere.
itself.
All right.
No. Yeah.
Keep a flashbang on you.
Are there any resources in the hab that
We
could
mob
be
in a
useful
group.
for us or for the natives?
Any resources for what? Sorry.
In the hab that could be useful.
We have, 4 months worth of supply in the hab and very scientific implements, but we can save all of our data. It's just then it's a material cost, and we'll have to have someone bring us more stuff. We should have enough replacements in our offsite laboratory to make do.
Anything small we can bring back for you after we've set the explosives.
Well, the biggest question: if you can tell me exactly where it'll breach, I know how to make up a good trap. I know how to hide it.
I don't know that much.
Okay.
Iris looks to you. If you can bring back our personal items and some food.
I can do that.
Explosives are ready. Let's go, guys.
Okay,
Backpack's full.
so I want to go over the plan with everyone before we leave the ship again. You're rigging the habitat to explode.
I got like 12 cubes of C4 ready to roll.
Great.
So if we actually already have the drone overhead to keep overwatch, we don't need the external camera.
We don't need
In the
those
secure locker,
unless
obviously.
the drone's gonna run out of
And
batteries.
maybe some in my bed.
So I'll do it in the safe area, basically
I
from
love
up top
court.
in the valleys,
I love
and
court.
basically so we can get overwatch and long distance sensors. But when it comes to immediate area of the shelter itself, no.
Cool. So we're getting huge wide angles all around the place, but not at the hab specifically.
Well, because the hab has its own cameras, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our ship can also view the hab with its external cameras.
Yeah.
So
Plus
we don't
the
have to
drone
worry,
overhead.
we don't have to worry about our inner circle. We got to worry kind of about the outer circle. And if we can get some early detection, it'd be great. But if not, we don't have to hang our hats on it. Kind of.
Do you still want to go put a razor trap at the entrance of the megalith?
No,
That'd be going too close. Well,
Thank you.
how close is it from the hab?
it's like a mile.
it's
right?
just under a mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, right now, because the explosives is the first thing to learn and gauge it. Plus, if it's going to be there within 24 hours and not unknown, it could be out at night stalking. Or is it nighttime or daytime?
It's like early morning right now, so the sun hasn't come back up yet.
Yeah, we don't know its hunting cycle yet.
Are these explosives set to trigger as soon as something breaches, or? is
No,
that-
I got this cool plunger here.
All right,
We'll
so
just
just
watch
in
on the
case
cameras.
it's the time writer that
Yeah.
walks into the hab, we can.
Or any of the locals.
We
or,
don't have
you
to
know,
blow them
any
up.
of us go
I
back.
think just
No, it'll be fine.
one,
All right.
so it has, like, just in case the hab itself is compromised, one on the explosives themselves.
Well, the explosives themselves would be.
Well, yeah, just basically a view as a backup.
yeah, just like a little,
Cameras are cheap.
little spy camera on the top of the doorway or something to look into the hab.
Yeah.
But not on the explosives. The explosives are all going like under the floorboards and stuffed in lockers where there wouldn't be any view of the main chamber anyway.
Yeah.
If this thing's intelligent, I'm not letting it bust in and just see 12 packs of C4 laying on the ground with a little card that says, sorry, get well soon, you know.
No, we're gonna hide him.
Have you guys
Funny,
seen Nope? Because that's exactly what this feels like.
We mosey. I got my backpack full.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with anybody about where we're placing it.
I don't hate the
We're
bombs.
just
I don't hate the
going.
plans. We go. I need
D12s?
from everyone leaving the ship another round of D12s. So who all's going?
I'm going.
I'm staying on the ship. This is a world of smart people.
That's
Lord.
not bad.
Okay, Riva's gonna go this time, and Helena's actually gonna stay.
I have to stay focused. If I get distracted, it's gonna. I can't. Close.
Yeah. No.
I need
You're
to stay
good.
focused. I'm
Yeah,
staying on the
you're
ship.
doing your
Gucci.
thing.
I'm doing my suit.
2.
4.
8, my lord.
We skipped 6.
That's 14.
Just got a flashbang in my hand as we're walking
Oh,
around.
absolutely.
Finger on the ring.
Yeah. I'll carry a flashbang.
This D6 says a lot.
Uh-huh.
Delightful. Okay.
Bamboozled, it's there.
Yeah, you guys go. We're gonna set up some razor wires, some bombs, a couple cameras. Riva's gonna basically just watch your back while you're setting up wires and stuff.
Well, and with the razor wires yet, there's no really good tunnels or anything, unless if it came out.
There's no
He's-
obvious choke.
No, he doesn't want this monster to learn what a razor wire is until it snaps him.
Yeah.
So we're going to just rely on explosives, though he's
Okay.
carrying the razor wire just
Okay.
in case.
Just in case you happen to cross a great opportunity.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
if the opportunity presents itself and he sees like a choke point or an obvious location where it would have to come from the megalith, maybe, but it'd have to be substantial.
Yeah. Honestly, the most obvious place you could put one is in the actual rounded
Is-
tunnel entrance.
Yeah.
Into
in
the
the megalith.
megalith.
Actually, yeah, if it knows how to open doors. You could put, well,
Not to have the megalith.
oh, the megalith?
Yeah. Which we're not going to too far.
Yeah, too far.
Too far. We're too far into the game to be.
We
making
could justify it in the
100%
morning, but not at night. Not right now. You know?
Well, yeah, because it's in the morning, but
maybe.
Yeah.
we need to see if
By
it even
daylight.
comes out
Take
of
a
that
lot of
area
convincing.
or what the locals come up with.
I ain't living in the ship.
We have like really bright lights, right? We have something. I'm sure
We
we
have
have.
some
We have to have
floodlights
some.
around.
Yeah, we have to have.
You guys
some
have
kind of
lights built
floodlights
onto
or-
your,
Yeah, for when
suits.
if we have to do a spacewalk or something.
Yeah. Yeah. You have lights on your suits, and you can extend these huge kind of high beams from external sensors on the exterior of the ship. That's fine. Or organs on the exterior of the ship.
Say, Nora, while we're actually doing that, going
Riva.
this.
Yeah.
No, actually, he's on comms.
Okay. Cool.
Is there a way that you can look into some sort of helmets or something that we can actually block brainwaves with? I mean, if our sensors can't detect it, hopefully it can either. What sort of compound that we could use, or even look up records.
I too am very interested in the
So-
brainwave blocking helmets.
This is something I actually do know about. We don't have the means to manufacture anything like that here. That's some very advanced technology.
Yeah.
Especially considering we have members of our crew who are naturally psionic.
That's Stone Age.
But as long as we're on the ship, Ashton told me you should be able to block out most of our interference.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think that's really anything we'll ever be able to manufacture ourselves. We'd have to go to someone with more means and better technology.
Well, let's see how advanced this critter is. It starts killing the locals faster than they can even talk, and the rest. Yeah, I have to reconsider our plan and get some external Federation help. But
Has anyone spoken to the locals?
Yeah. Scientist lady.
She's speaking to them constantly.
Okay.
They're fine for now. It's been like
1 week.
Since
Since
you
you
looked
looked
at
at me.
me.
it's been a couple days since this thing got loose in the megalith, but it hasn't come out yet. And it's been a day since we found out about it.
Mhm.
So
All right.
you set up your bombs. You set up your cameras. Yeah, you're watching his back basically. Riva's watching your back.
I'm collecting personal items.
You're collecting personal items inside the hab while he's setting up bombs.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
Teamwork.
Number 2 is just like on patrol outside, just like walking a ring around the building. We get out. We get going.
I don't like your tone.
We get back in. Say we get back in.
We get back to the ship,
Hey.
and we get in the ship.
And now we just get to wait. Isn't this great? Throw on your
Yeah.
favorite movie.
With that, I'm pretty much just like stalking the feeds.
Yeah,
Like,
I pull up my rocking chair and I'm just watching the feeds and I'm knitting.
Do we watch
Who wants a
security
sweater?
all night? Do we take shifts?
We're gonna
Yeah,
have
we take
to.
shifts.
We'll have to take
Absolutely.
shifts.
Okay,
How am I gonna stay away from this thing? I have to stay focused.
that's a problem, ain't it?
I
You should
Somebody get them
probably-
some
Nora,
methamphetamine.
yeah, Nora can give you some stimulants to keep you awake, but
You should
Do you
prob-
want some chocolates? Some very special German chocolates?
chocolates, you say. It's bad for
Well,
dogs.
the only crew
It's
member,
bad for a lot more than just dogs.
only crew member who doesn't need sleep would be 2, right?
Yeah, and he's on alert.
He should be.
At all times.
Well, maybe if we give him the tap off controls too, and have him be watching the feed as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you drink and take anything? I can't just stay awake right now.
So I'll write up a schedule for designated shifts, and at least people who are at least like they want to, and their notice is
In the module
decent.
room, I just throw out a sleeping bag. I'll just sleep right there.
Yeah, and
I don't need
security.
to. I don't need to sleep in a bed. I've slept in way
Hopefully
worse places.
within the 24 hours thing turns out true.
the head scientist Minerva asks you guys to put her in hypersleep,
Oh,
just because her brain can still receive active stimuli and she can interpret it while she's sleeping.
got it.
It's going to allow her body to rest, but her mind to still be sight.
Can Ashton do that?
Ashton can try it, yeah, if you think you can hack it.
Welcome to the forever.
It's
sleep.
not guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
No.
Because like you need to focus on the task. She just needs her brain to be awake enough that if someone screams at her, she'll hear it.
Yeah.
easy.
You could do it with I think if you did a psionics check, succeeded, and then a mental saving throw and succeeded. You could do it.
I'm really bad.
You're just gonna.
I'm betting on the later show up, so I'll pass out immediately. I can fall asleep shockingly fast.
We need a.
You guys watch through the cameras as like more of the natives are just going around their village, setting up more defenses and stuff. They've been told to stay away from the little, plastoid building. But they're going back and forth to and from the monolith area itself.
They would have drifted
idiots.
anyways.
They're doing things. The night goes. The sun rises. You have 12 hours of daylight here, and then 10 hours of night. Who's first shift? Who's second shift?
Well, I mean, Shucky and I sat down right away and we're watching the feed, so.
I'll make some
I'm all
coffee.
shifts.
Okay. Do you want to do second shift?
Last.
Yeah, he said he wanted to.
Okay. Riva will
I just
take.
kind of rolled randomly. It was like, yeah, I'm betting it shows up late.
Riva and Riva will take a shift with you. Captain Era and Tobar are going to sleep the whole night because they need to be rested tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm sure Helena's fine with taking a shift.
Helena, yeah, Helena's fine.
She's the one who got us all procced on this heroism bullshit anyway.
I'm not confident.
The sun
enough
comes up.
to pass this psionic check.
Tomorrow, we're good. We're alive. Everything's fine. Nothing yet. I need one more round of D12 encounter checks from everyone, and I'm going to be honest. You could all roll ones, and I think it'd be fine. But I want to know how high you get.
Ian, that's not a 1!
That's also not a 1.
No, I'm saying if you rolled 4 ones, it wouldn't have saved you. I just want to know what we roll,
Oh.
because the extent matters. 10.
How
4.
many fingers does an astronaut have? 10.
For now.
Currently.
I have fingers?
Well, and when I said cameras too, I would have some around for our shift too, to make sure that we're.
Yeah, we've got all of our cameras going.
I'm on a drip.
Minerva, her eyes shoot open and they're purple for like a couple seconds, and then she just starts banging on the glass of the hypersleep chamber.
I've been over that.
Nora immediately, you guys are sleeping.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is second. This is
Yeah, we were
like
asleep.
morning. You guys are sleeping by now. Yeah, Nora lets her out. Nora is also fucking exhausted, but she was on and off awake most of the night. And Minerva immediately steps out, falls, because her body was just shut down.
I know that.
And then she starts shouting, "There's something in the village. There's something coming from the megalith now." And then she, staggers to her feet, and it's time.
Do we have eyes on it?
We're in fucking daylight. You guys check all the feeds.
Yeah.
Or use the drone?
There.
Yeah, the drone takes flight.
Yeah, drone takes off. There are warriors running back and forth from the megalith towards the village. There are people like setting up behind the palisades with their weapons and stuff. They have this kind of like defensive perimeter, and then you see from up the road, the alien Time Rider warrior comes just like stumbling down the path towards the hab, just like waving his like silver sword around a little bit whenever people try to get too close to him. They're all like freaking out about him, and he seems to not be helping particularly. This is not the thing.
We gotta go nab his ass.
Is he super
We need
fucked up?
him.
He's not. He doesn't look injured. He looks exhausted.
Yeah, delusional.
He goes up to the hab, takes his sword, and it starts to glow with this deep energy, and he drives it into the door.
Can I hit the
And-
loudspeakers on the ship?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you looking for a place to sleep?
Echoes across the valley. People like looking around. Like, they don't understand it, but it's a loud noise.
I don't need them to understand.
And-
He speaks English.
After a couple seconds, he's still like Qui-Gon Jinn on this fucking door.
You don't want to do that.
He stops, turns, and his eyes, he's like, looks delirious. And then he looks directly into the camera above him.
It's me again, bud. I'm trying to help you out here. There's like 12 pounds of high explosives in there. You ought not to.
I need food.
Cool, man. I got you covered.
These primitives. And he gets down from the like place he jumped up to get into the hab. They don't speak.
Nah, they got this weird like sign language thing. We'll get our scientists to tell them all to back off. What you hungry for? We got, Shaggy, what do we got?
Oh, actually, I got. He starts listing off the different food groups. They're good for different type of species.
Beans, bacon, whiskey, lard.
Bacon, whiskey, and lard. We get them just some like sampler platter of BS right out the gate. I'll just give it to number 4 and let 4 ramp off the ship.
Yeah, this alien.
4 is built to serve, so like he's gonna make friends real quick for us.
Yeah.
We don't have to go shake his hand.
This alien makes his way to your guys' ship and waits at the gantry as it's extended. 2 is standing at the entrance with like his little blaster pistol, and he's just looking at you.
I'll be standing with him.
I just think of a B2 battle droid every time.
B1 battle droid, but yeah.
B1
Yeah.
battle droid every time I picture.
It's closer to like a killer C-3PO, but yeah.
Got it.
Oh, okay, so he's got the more head shape.
Yeah, no, he does have a
normal,
humanoid shape.
more humanoid.
But
Nice.
he doesn't look like a person could fit inside him like a suit,
Yeah.
So he's a little spindly here and there, a little armored here and there.
I still just picture Lala.
Yeah, and he's just like looking at you like almost
that's
permission
4.
to allow this alien aboard your vessel.
Oh, he'll probably hang out here. We'll see how this goes. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah, the guy just stands there in his like loincloth at the bottom of the ramp. All he has is this loincloth, this sword, and sword belt. That's it. That's literally it.
With that, like,
Good thing I'm knitting a sweater.
Swooping over, just like freshly cooked some stuff.
Yeah, you bring down food for him on like a TV dinner tray, basically, and he just kind of looks at
In a
it.
giant pot.
I didn't know exactly what you
Looks at you.
kind of eat, but I kind of got one of everything on there.
Is this meat?
Actually, yeah, those starts pointing at all the meaty bits, cooked to perfection. Actually, there's a couple that are uncooked too. I didn't know what you eat.
We do not eat meat.
Oh,
I'll eat it.
Get it. We have some of that Galatean broccoli.
well, no, actually, no. There's samples. Like he actually like points over.
Yeah, he like very awkwardly grabs with his long, like uncomfortably long fingers, right? And just and he eats it. And he's like kind of like cringes at it a little bit,
Is
but
he
he
gonna come on the ship, or
he-
is he just gonna stand in the doorway?
He-
No,
Horks-
he's gonna stand at the doorway.
he horks it down. He's just like,
Shouldn't we speak to this man?
"This
Yeah, we're speaking to
will
him right now.
suffice. I will need more food.
More
My
rest,
hunt
or-
has been long, and my rations and armor are compromised."
Captain, are we not gonna let him in?
No.
Well, and do you need those things? Can I work on them? Well, it depends. And what type of tech level is that?
My hull was exposed to the vacuum of space.
What about yours?
Most of its contents, I believe, are in high orbit.
Ah, all right. So not even available.
He's just been wandering around, like, literally hungry, just woke up from a coma, swinging his sword like a madman, looking for this spider. And then he came out and he's like, okay, I'm going to break into this human house and steal some food. He does not give a fuck. But no, he cringes every time he eats broccoli or whatever vegetables you present him. It's very obvious. His palate is just so alien. But he eats it, and it doesn't seem like it's going to hurt him.
Send out
Just
my
salt
parrot.
the
He
shit out
likes
of it.
chips.
He's gotta like salt. Everything likes salt.
Just the things that it seems he likes more, he'll bring out more of.
He eats the citrusy things a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I can all good
Yeah.
recipes for that.
Yeah.
Fruit salad.
Also, like, he likes the tomatoes because they're slimy. He likes the texture of the slimy food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just has a completely
He's a
different-
slop guy.
Yeah, the citrusy, sloppy, you know. But yeah, he eats all that, and then he actually like, gives you like a genuine bow. Thank you.
Is it
If I knew your palate a little bit better, I would have made it tastier. But, sorry.
Looks up at you at
Never
the
cooked.
top of the gantry, yeah.
is it still in the tunnels?
I believe so. On my excursion, I found no trace of exit.
You have got a good lead on location?
There are subterranean workers, by my estimate, low density. They are being picked off one by one. When it's run out of workers, it will venture to the surface.
How smart is it getting?
Fortunately, the life forms on this planet do not seem particularly gifted.
So polite.
He really said they dumb as bricks.
We could have them evacuate to the surface, the subterranean workers. Tell them the demons down below. We have communications, right?
That would require they send people down into the tunnels to tell people to get out of the tunnels. You know,
Probably not.
Too far out of range.
yeah. This is like very far below. So the thing has wandered to the humans at the bottom of the labyrinth, but as soon as it runs out, and he said there's not many of them down there, as soon as they run out, it's gonna come back up.
I don't think we can help those guys, unfortunately.
Well, until it gets smart once it eats like one of us, then.
I do not know if you are life forms of a higher order.
All
Maybe more of a
right.
spaceship.
His eyes kind of like you see there's like a nictitating membrane, you know, like he's blinking but his eyelids are open. And they go purple for just like a little bit. Something is amiss. Your minds are closed to me.
Oh,
I need a mental saving throw.
I cry.
And Crab Slum, thanks for following.
You're
No,
opposing a
no,
Time
honey.
Rider warrior, yeah. D20 flat, no bonuses.
Actually,
He is trying to pierce your veil right now.
I want to cry.
Sounds kind of gay.
Stop
Sounds
it.
kind of gay.
Sounds like
Stop.
an emo band.
Gotta stop.
Piercing the veil.
13?
That's actually pretty good.
Grub step.
I don't
Rub
know.
step.
Pierce the Veil is.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a band.
Okay.
That's name's familiar. 20?
13.
13, okay.
What's your DC?
It was just opposed.
Oh, it's an opposed. I
Yeah.
thought you said
You
mental
probably
save.
see right
It
there.
was, but yeah, it was just
Yeah.
opposed. What is
No chance.
your DC though? It is good to know.
For mental, right?
Yeah.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not that far behind this guy.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you feel a presence prying at the edge of your mind, and you're very tired and just like, oh shit.
Yeah, fuck it.
This thing
And
away
eventually,
from me.
yeah, he's
Get
just kind of like
this thing
staring at
away
you,
from
but
me.
he seems far away. And after a couple seconds, he like blinks a few more times, and he's kind of like back in his body. Now I see.
Oh, my nose grabbed
You have minds of comparable intellect aboard your vessel.
hey, I'll take that.
First
You
compliment
are-
I've gotten from an alien.
He just tells you you are in
Take it.
imminent danger. As soon as it's done feeding on the scraps below, It will come above, and it will smell you. This little veil might slow it down, but
So
there
take
is
it this
blood.
this is the time you should rest.
It's time we should
So-
go take off to orbit.
Well, and if you plan on hunting these
I-
things, maybe
if
we
I
should work
rest,
together. Do you need it
I'm gonna-
alive
I'm
again,
gonna have to
or do we
reach-
have permission
pick
to
this
kill
up
it?
again.
Your associate said there were live explosives within that bungalow.
Oh God, so many explosives.
Correct.
I assume you are hunting the beast.
Hopefully gonna trap it from afar. It's gonna hunt us eventually.
You caught it once. What needs to be done?
I had my armor and equipment, and I hunted it in a terrain that was familiar to me. Now, I need to make myself attractive to it if I want to draw it out from the depths.
We got a slug in a jar
Give him,
that
give him the
boosts
slug.
mental abilities, that
Yeah.
boosts psionics.
I'm a good snack, but I don't want to be a snack.
Well, like I asked,
If this
do you
guy's cool
intend
with
to
being the
kill it
center of
or
the trap,
capture it
I don't
again?
have.
Of course, he wants to be bait. He wants to die in glorious alien combat.
I've got nothing against that. I'll bury 12 pounds of C4 under his battlefield and let him duke it out. And if he
Oh,
loses,
and like I asked, kill it or try and capture it
I
again.
mean, what we could do is also
I do not currently have the means to transport it.
oh thank God.
I will kill it.
Well, we got some stuff that could probably help us. We'd have some of the explosives, but we got some of these traps here. Great for tunnels and trenches and places where it has to walk through. Just razor wire.
Are you familiar with this beast?
No.
It is too intelligent for primitive traps.
Can it sense electronics or batteries? Because the main thing, you set it around a tunnel, you bury it in mud, so it can't be seen. As long as it goes through that area, trust me, it's worked on plenty of things that think quite well.
I'm not so familiar with your electronics, but I do not believe it should be either. It is dangerous. This thing can tunnel through the ground. It can jump great leaps through the air. Its mobility is its greatest weapon. If you have considerable ranged firepower, you could at least deal some damage to it before it closes the gap. It has no means of range for itself. Does it look at you? You, this crude construct, is this suited for warfare?
Number 2 he's talking about. Yeah.
It
He
will
does
not
alright.
detect it without direct visual contact. You could use this thing to ambush it.
Okay. We could.
What is this thing called? Does it have a name?
We heard the name, didn't we?
They have many names in many tongues, but my people know them as Nefalgu.
Gesundheit. Yeah. Put a flashbang in 2's storage compartment.
Well, if it's going to come out
Give him a rifle.
at some point in time, hopefully we can try and lure it in the way that we want it to. If we
And set your
instruct all the,
traps.
if we set all the people at the up top to start working on closing off all the entrances, so we have to narrow its means of escape. I mean, hopefully we'll just decide at some point, thinking that it's just, I don't know what it thinks.
Well, if it can burrow through solid rock.
But if
blocking
it
off
doesn't think that it's
tunnels.
dangerous, maybe it's just they're trying to trap them in. It's hard to say. Narrow down its options.
Yeah, this thing can tell you it doesn't burrow through like solid rock, but it can burrow through soft earth. you
Okay,
know.
so it won't burrow through the megalith.
No,
Okay.
the megalith. No.
So we
It
should-
is confined by tunnels right now.
All right. Well, let's go razor wire a whole bunch of tunnels then.
Well, and if I can teach number 2, maybe number 4, and how to set them up, and do some test runs.
Forrest
they were
got
settable.
the one weird grabby arm. He's not going to be able to set that thing up.
Yeah, two
especially
gear
in
gravity
height.
arms, but yeah.
Well, and especially
Two's
to
got
hide
two.
it.
I was talking about four. Four's got the single one.
Four's got two arms. He's like a Wally, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part, is the hiding part. Making sure that the tunnel width is exactly so that none of the wires ever exposed.
I'll help you out with that.
Oh, they-
Helena will go.
I'll go.
So we need to make sure that any entrance that we do know about that's in places where
Have
it
fun.
isn't easy to get to.
You don't want to
we
go and keep us
collapse.
cloaked while we do
We
it?
have the
I
locals
have a lot
collapse
of
and
smart
seal.
people to keep close.
We work on the zones
If-
where it can.
If this Time Rider's going with you, you won't be able to keep him cloaked.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
Reva will stay here and hold down the base, you know.
Yeah, that's...
Well, and another thing
Who
too,
you want her to go with?
I just don't want to go.
I know.
using the last of our scrap and the rest. Well, and
I
is there a
wanna
way
give
that we
this
can
guy a
actually make like a
bandolier, like-
makeshift artillery cannon, like 40 millimeter, something like that?
No, I don't got the stuff for that.
Because if we use one of those cargo pads in the rest and mount it up as a turret in the rest, we
Very
could have
sturdy.
somebody.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun is keeping us above ground.
That's what I said years ago. I'm sorry, you're late to the party.
I'm
They
tired,
ain't going
bro.
for it. Go to sleep.
I can't.
Well,
What I really want to do is I just want to give this time guy a bandolier of like 6 flashbangs and 2 frags and be like, all right, buddy, have fun and get off planet. But
Give Rambo his guns and
Yeah.
get
well,
the fuck out of
we
Dodge.
should see about arming you so that you're suited to fight it again. We might not have the same weapons you do, but is there anything that we can make shift for you? We do have a...
Do you have any acceptable armor?
So you go through the schematics and see what I can scrap together.
is he...
He's a little too tall for an EVA suit.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask. It's like the best bet is just give him one of the spare EVAs.
I mean, you could. He would just like,
Stretch it.
you'd stretch it and like basically turn it into a crop top, you know? But it'd be.
It's a look.
Hey man, if he wants to do that,
Cut it,
then
yeah.
I've got a solution for him in 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like we got
Well,
spares.
could I see
Yeah.
about it, like doing a roll and
Asking.
modifying something?
Yeah, you could patch some armor onto a spare suit. There's
Yeah.
some like plate.
Yep.
Sure.
All right. Tabari, help me out with this.
All right. I need an extra D6 for Tabari. Not bad.
8.
12. So, yeah. Cool. You guys can patch some extra, just like steel plating onto the outsides of an EVA suit, cut it at the waist. And he's basically just gonna put on like a breastplate and armored like cargo pants. Or like shorts, you know. Like he's really tall. You know, he's over 7 feet tall. So
And a
he
weapon or
ditches the
blade or
boots, he
axe.
ditches the gloves. He has a sword.
His sword's way
yeah.
better than anything we got.
Oh yeah, earlier you saw him stick
Well,
his
yeah,
sword
it's like,
straight
yeah,
through plastoid steel and just like bend it like a can opener. So
Well, is there any ranged weapon that you'd like to try? You said that once it gets close. That's where its advantage is at.
do you have any high heat weaponry? Anything like a thermite? Oh my god.
I got one juicy ass grenade I've been holding on to
it's-
for a while.
You have that one that you wanted to say for robots.
Yeah.
Robots are our friends apparently, so
Yep. They listen to what I say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I find high heat explosive weaponry in close proximity to the Nathalgu will rupture all of its brain pods. They're
I also
very
got these
sensitive.
wonderful flashbangs. Not a whole lot of heat, a lot of flash, a lot of bang. It's in the name.
Its eyes will not be sensitive to such weapons.
But its ears are sensitive to the sounds.
I see. Ah, flash and bang.
What time are you from?
Could you pull up like videos of like combat and everything else like that and just show them what it does?
Time's a very mortal concept.
Shoot, I got a couple dozen of them. I'd puck one into the woods and let him watch. Like, any excuse?
Yeah, he takes that. He'll just like hold it. This weapon, I like it.
Oh, me too.
He tucks it into like the loose waistband of his EVA suit, you know. And, cool. We've given him shitty makeshift armor. It's more than the buck-ass nude
The
warrior
nothing.
status he had before. We've given him armor. We gave him one really dope grenade, and then just a standard flashbang as well. we have like an extra pair of sunglasses for him, you know?
I has that.
Yeah.
Of course
Cool.
you do.
It helps with the thinking.
So,
Cool. Yeah, he'll put those on. That'll help in case he forgets to look away from the
Terminator style.
flashbang. Yeah. Cool. So we have this tall, kind of mottled yellowy gray alien warrior covered in tattoos. He has like a bull ring in his nose and fucking horns growing from his beard. And he's got Terminator glasses, a crop top, and jorts. I love it. You know, that's basically what we've got here.
belt with grenades.
Yeah.
Sounds like a true American.
Yeah.
Freedom.
So I'll tell Nirvana, right? And to start having the locals collapse tunnels and keep the main one where we want it to come out of.
Minerva. But yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Minerva, yeah.
They're not going to collapse tunnels, but at the very least, I mean, they're blocking off every tunnel and exit with like
Within range.
Wooden rocks.
wooden palisades. You know.
Yeah.
It'll at least give us some kind of warning.
The next major entrance though is miles away. Like they have basically the one entrance here.
Okay.
And we're gonna be.
This guy is
attacked
volunteering
a
to
little
be
bit.
bait. Do we want to set up an ambush around him, or are we just
Yeah.
going to let him
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that we should try and trick it up to the surface. If the razor wire doesn't work in the rest, we'll have more redundant razor wires to protect it as it tries to close the distance, and then hopefully it's incapacitated by the time that you have to get, well, it gets close to you.
At the very least, we got like 8 people with flashbangs, and we can just spam him.
And this thing's very mobile. How fast does it move? How many legs?
At least as fast as a swamp strider.
That sounds fast.
That's
Bring my trench shovel and a couple
Kilometers
of
an
other
hour?
tools and the rest. It won't take me too long to try
faster
and
than
set
a
up.
human.
I probably know what that
20
is.
Kaio, no more, no less. But
What does that mean?
yeah, you're asking an alien for.
I mean,
I like pick up a rock and I just throw it, and I'm like, faster?
Faster.
Faster than you.
Faster than I. But I am smarter and stronger than it. You're not sure. You know, he's a warrior. He has,
Very
to,
confident.
he has to say that. I mean, he's captured it before.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He had his
probably
alien
a
armor.
He had
random
all of his
fact that I
shit.
have in my mind, right?
So what-
If I know what fast.
It's fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Fast.
What happened to your ship?
I was traveling through
Time.
what you call space. I was intercepted.
You know, Coach was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Can
What else
I,
would you call space?
Can I roll a quick
It
notice
is
to get the
space.
random fact out of my mind?
Mm-hmm.
So to see if I understand what he said by describing things.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he tells you, I was intercepted at the edge of this system. There was a vessel there of unknown make.
8 for the notice.
8. You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He
Cool.
tells you,
And-
when first I saw your ship, I thought it might have been you, but I do not believe that is the case.
Certainly not. You were on this
Good call.
planet several days before we arrived.
There's an alien vessel somewhere in this solar system, or at least there was a week ago.
Something hostile.
Yeah, something that shot him down unprovoked.
Good to know. Great.
I lost my cargo hold, but the beast's containment maintained until I crashed into this primitive temple.
I'm still making more razor wire traps with what left we have so we can make up a good trap.
Putting on my stocking shoes, suiting the fuck up. Everybody's decided to be a hero.
Might as well bring a bunch of explosives and have some fun with it. God damn. We can't just take off.
Better
into
than
orbit.
to meet that thing there than have it come to this ship.
Better to not meet it at all. It doesn't have to come to the ship. It can't jump to orbit.
So the question is, who are we taking on this fire team?
I'll go.
I volunteer.
Who has the most experience? Riva?
Riva, for sure.
Yeah.
Riva and Shecky.
I would
He's
say
close.
whoever has a handle on a gun
Very different experience.
Yeah.
should.
Well,
Riva's a former soldier.
We
He's
also-
a former insurgent, you know?
we also need to consider, though, if we do fail as well.
Yeah.
We need to have a backup.
You guys need at least 5 people to crew this ship.
The traps hopefully will do the most.
There's
of
a
it.
bunch of scientists.
They, I mean, they need to stay on this planet.
Learn on the job.
Oh God.
Well, if we fail, you definitely should not stay on this planet.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna,
Not
like they should
until
stay if
there's
all the
some
warriors
other
die.
team that can come forth
And clean.
and clean house.
I mean, they have 2 scientists who are armed and experienced enough that they can make a stand with you.
Sure. If they want to go, I'll take all the warm bodies I can.
Okay.
Like
So, Ashton, you
whatever.
want to be on site?
I'm tired of F.
Okay. You're gonna leave yourself out of this one. That's fine.
Well,
I mean, I
he's
could
he's
do-
trying to keep up this
the
psionic.
focus.
Well,
yeah.
and here's the thing: everyone that we lose if we fail means that that thing's much more worse for wear for this planet.
Okay.
So
So
we need
we'll-
to consider
Leave the brain
the-
boy back here.
your.
in case the rest of us have to bail, we have to consider what we're leaving behind, basically.
Can our ship's guns reach to where we're?
That's what I said, but they were like, "Oh, don't blow up the giant rocks. They'll
The-
get angry at you."
The ship's guns, they're like, there's a huge difference between the kind of weapons you guys have
We're
and
using, like, a Moab.
ship grade weapons.
You know,
I don't know what a Moab is.
mother of all bombs. You're leveling like city blocks.
Got
with-
it.
Yeah, with a blast from the ship's 1 cannon.
Okay, that's off the table. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Turn on.
I will dig a hole to China with that thing if I
No,
have
it's
to. Like,
If we fail, though,
screw
we
their
lose-
monolith. Sorry. but-
Brain boy. No, it has battery. It's just untouched. Don't want to respond to touch right now.
Same.
I mean, if we fail and that thing becomes smart enough and starts to repopulate this planet, we might have to consider that a use. I'm almost in agreement. I mean,
Yeah, Reva just tells you, at that point the planet's scuttled.
unless it's taken care of at that moment. That should be our plan B. When the ship, those who stay in the ship, should take off. And if we lose everybody and boots on the ground and that thing's not dead,
Shoot it.
we shoot. That'll save the planet.
Captain Era tells you, if you're planning to go and confront this thing and leave the rest of us to make an emergency takeoff, I'm going to need all of you to make preparations for launch before you go. Because the rest of us won't be capable to do it quickly without you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Tabara, you better stay on the ship.
Okay, we're going to take 5 guys, and when we come back, we're going to do pre-flight, and then we're going to set up for battle. Oh, Christ.
Packed my bags last night.
I probably wouldn't be super useful right now.
This has been D20 House. We'll catch you after the 5-minute break.